हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल। हम लोग कंप्यूटर अवेयरनेस कर रहे थे और ये टॉपिक नंबर 23 है। ठीक है, 23 नहीं होगी, इससे ज़्यादा होगी शायद, ये गलती से लिख गया। ठीक है, तो समझ लो ये नेक्स्ट टॉपिक है। ऑलमोस्ट आई थिंक सो 30 टॉपिक्स कंप्लीट हो चुके हैं। तो देखते हैं डेफिनेशंस, एंड मैं पिन कर दूंगा यहाँ पे वो प्लेलिस्ट का लिंक। ठीक है, तो आप देख लेना डेफिनेशंस एंड टर्मिनोलॉजी, ये टॉपिक है नेक्स्ट टॉपिक। तो डेफिनेशंस क्या है, एप्लीकेशन की डेफिनेशन क्या है? एन एप्लीकेशन है सेट ऑफ कोड डिजाइनर टू अलाउ स्पेसिफिक टास्क टू हैपन। ठीक है, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट विंडोज एंड इंटरनेट एक्सप्लोरर आर कॉमन एग्जांपल्स, ये सारे एप्लीकेशंस है। एक्सेस टाइम क्या होता है? द परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ ए हार्ड ड्राइव और अदर स्टोरेज डिवाइस, हाउ लॉन्ग इट टेक्स टू लोकेट अ फाइल। एक्टिव प्रोग्राम और विंडो क्या होता है? एप्लीकेशन और विंडो एट द फ्रंट ऑन द मॉनिटर। एल्गोल मतलब इट वाज द फर्स्ट लैंग्वेज विद द फॉर्मल ग्रामर। Algo was created by a committee for scientific use in 1958. Its major contribution is being the root of the tree that has led to such languages as Pascal, C, C++, and Java. Algorithm in computing, an algorithm is a procedure for accomplishing some task which, given an initial state, will terminate in a defined end state. ठीक है, ASCI pronounced ASCII मतलब अमेरिकन स्टैंडर्ड कोड फॉर इंफॉर्मेशन इंटरचेंज, a commonly used data format for exchanging informations between the computers or program. Amplifier मतलब कि a device that takes in a weak electric signal and sends out a strong one. It is used to boost electrical signals in many electronic devices such as radios, televisions and telephones and telephone. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट क्या है? एनालॉग कंप्यूटर मतलब a computer that operates on a data which is in the form of a continuous variable physical quantities. Android, it is a Linux based operating system designed primarily for touch screen mobile devices such as smartphones and tablet computers. एंटीवायरस सॉफ्टवेयर क्या होता है? एंटीवायरस सॉफ्टवेयर कंसिस्ट ऑफ ए program computer program that tracks attempt to identify, treat and eliminate computer virus, other malicious software malware. API क्या होता है? API refers to applications interface. Application programming interface is the platform used by a program to access different services on the computer system. Application software is a subclass of a computer software that employs the capabilities of a computer directly to a task that the user wishes to perform. Example, Word document, spreadsheet, etc. आरजीयू मतलब क्या है? इट प्रोवाइड्स अ बैकअप स्टोरेज। नेक्स्ट क्या है? अर्थमेटिक लॉजिक यूनिट यानी कि एएलयू मतलब अर्थमेटिक लॉजिक यूनिट जो रहता है इज ए पार्ट ऑफ execution unit, a core component of all CPUs. ALUs are capable of calculating the results of a wide variety of basic arithmetical and logical computation. Artificial intelligence क्या होता है? Fifth generation computing devices based on artificial intelligence are still in development, though there are some applications such as voice recognition that are being used today. ठीक है, array क्या होता है? Array is a similar data saved on a computer system in a sequential form. Assembler क्या होता है? Program that translates mnemonic statement into executable instructions. Attribute क्या होता है? The characteristics of an entity are called its attributes. Animations क्या होता है? It is a process of making the illusion of motions change by means of the rapid display of a sequence of static images that minimally differ from each other. ठीक है, BIOS क्या होता है? BIOS stands for Basic Input Output System. It gives the computer a platform to run the software using a floppy disk or a hard disk. BIOS are responsible for booting a PC. उसके लिए यूज होता है BIOS का। ठीक है, नेक्स्ट क्या है? बीट इज ए बाइनरी डिजिट। It refers to a digit number, either a 0 or a 1. A binary digit is used to represent computerized data. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट क्या है? बैकअप। बैकअप का मतलब क्या है? अ कॉपी ऑफ ए फाइल और अ डिस्क यू मेक फॉर अचीविंग पर्पसेस। बैक स्पेस मतलब क्या है? Backspace is a key is used on the keyboard to delete the text. Backspace will delete the text to the left of cursor bandwidth, the maximum amount of data that can travel in a communication path in a given time, measures in beats per second. ठीक है, BPS बारकोड का मतलब क्या होता है? बारकोड is a machine readable representation of information in a visual format on a surface. The first barcode system was developed by Norman Joseph Woodland and Bernard Silver in 1954. Bitmap, a method of storing a graphic image as a set of bits in a computer memory to display the image on the screen. The computer converts the bit into pixels. Blog, blog का मतलब होता है it is a discussion or informational site published on the World Wide Web. Bomb का मतलब क्या? Type of viralities and interactivity at a specific date and time on a computer. Bluetooth क्या होता है? A protocol that permits a wireless exchange of information between computers, cell phone and other electronic devices within a radius about 30 feet. Booting क्या होता है? Is a bootstrapping process which starts the operating system when a computer is switched on. Botnet क्या होता है? It is a collection of internet connected program communicating with other similar programs in order to perform a task. ठीक है, boot sequence क्या होता है? Boot sequence set of operations the computer performs when it is switched on, which loads an operating system. ठीक है, browser क्या होता है? अब special software that enables users to read, review web pages and jump from one web page to another. Buffering क्या होता है? The process of storing data in a memory device, allowing the device to change the data rates, perform error checking and error transmissions. Error rate transmissions. ठीक है, bug क्या होता है? Software bug is an error, flow, failure or fault in a computer program or a system that produces an incorrect or unexpected results. ठीक है, boolean क्या होता है? An expressions the value of which is either true or false. Bus क्या होता है? Bus is a set of wires that enables flow of data from one location of the computer to another. Byte, 8 bytes is equal to 1 bit. CGI मतलब क्या होता है? Stands for Common Gateway Interface होता है. It defines how an auxiliary program and a web server would communicate. Class मतलब a group of objects having some same operations and attributes is defined as a class. Client का मतलब क्या होता है? Client is a program that asks for information from other processes or programs. Outlook Express is a great example of a client. ठीक है, CD-ROM क्या होता है? An acronym for Compact Disk Read Only Memory. Client server क्या होता है? A common form of distributed system in which software is split between server tasks and client tasks. A client sends request to a server according to some protocol asking for information or actions, and the server responds. Clipboard, clipboard क्या होता है? Clipboard, a portion of a memory where the Mac temporarily stores information called a copy buffer in many PC applications because it is used to hold information which is to be moved, as in word processing, where text is cut and then pasted. ठीक है, clock rate क्या होता है? मेगाहर्ट्ज होता है. That instruction processing speed of a computer measured in millions of cycles per second is at 200 megahertz. Compiler, a program that converts programming code into a form that can be used by a computer. Compression, a technique that reduces the size of a saved file by elimination or encoding redundancies is that JPMG, MPEG or LZW. CPU क्या होता है? The central processing unit, the processing chip that is the brain of computer. Cache memory क्या होता है? The speed of CPU is extremely high compared to the access time of a main memory. Therefore, the performance of CPU decreases due to the slow speed of main memory. To decrease the mismatch in operating speed, a small memory chip is attached between CPU and the main memory, whose access time is very close to the processing speed of CPU. It is called the cache memory. Chip क्या होता है? Teeny water Tiny buffer of silicon containing miniature electric circuits that can store millions of bits of information. Client server is a network architecture which separates the client from the server. Each instance of the client software can send a request to a server or application server. Cookie क्या होती है? A packet of information that travels between a browser and the web server. Compiler. A compiler is a computer program that translates a series of instructions written in the one computer language called the source language into another computer language, also called the ऑब्जेक्ट और टारगेट लैंग्वेज. ठीक है. कम्युनिकेशंस क्या होती है? द ट्रांसमिशंस ऑफ डाटा फ्रॉम वन कंप्यूटर टू अनदर और फ्रॉम वन डिवाइस टू अनदर इज कॉल्ड द कम्युनिकेशंस. ठीक है. कंप्यूटर नेटवर्क्स क्या होता है? कंप्यूटर नेटवर्क इज अ सिस्टम और कम्युनिकेशन अमंग टू और मोर कंप्यूटर्स. द कंप्यूटर नेटवर्क्स कैन be broadly classified as a homogeneous and heterogeneous. ठीक है. कंप्यूटर ग्राफिक्स क्या होता है? कंप्यूटर ग्राफिक्स आर विजुअल presentation on a computer screen. Examples are photographs, drawings, lines, arts, graphs, diagram, typography, numbers, symbols, geometric designs, maps, engineering drawings, or other images. Cold boot क्या होता है? When a computer restarts after the power cut is called the cold boot. Control panel. ठीक है. Control panel is the main part of the window menu accessible from the start menu, which allows users to view and manipulate basic system settings and controls such as adding hardware, adding, removing software, controlling user accounts, changing the accessibility option, etc. Control unit क्या होता है? Control unit is a part of CPU that directs its operations. The output of this unit control the activity of the rest of the devices. Cracker क्या होता है? The preferred term used to refer to a computer criminal that penetrates a computer to steal information or damage the programs in some way. Crash क्या होता है? A system and malfunctions in which the computer stop working and has to be restarted. Cursor क्या होता है? The pointer, usually arrow or cross rapid, which is controlled by the mouse. ठीक है. CMOS. CMOS is an abbreviation for complementary metal oxide semiconductor. It is the battery powered chip that is situated on the motherboard and that retains system information such as date and time. Data क्या होता है? Data refers to the information that is saved on a computer. ठीक है. DOS क्या होता है? DOS is an acronym for Disk Operating System. It is a command line operating system launched by Bill Gates. Data is an electronic list of information that can be stored and searched. ठीक है. Defragment also optimized to concatenate fragments of data into contiguous blocks in memory or on a hard drive. Dialog box and a screen message box that appears when the computer requires additional information before completing a command. ठीक है. Digitize मतलब कि to convert a linear or analog data into a digital data that can be used by the computer. Disk क्या होता है? Is a spinning platter made of magnetic or optically etched material on which data can be stored. Disk drive मतलब कि the machinery that writes the data from a disk, writes data and writes data to a disk window, the windows that display the contents of a directory of a disk. ठीक है. Document क्या होता है? File you create as opposed to the application which created it. DOS क्या होता है? Acronym for Disk Operating System used in IBM PCs. ठीक है. Download का मतलब to transfer data from one computer to another. If you are on the receiving end, you are downloading. If you are on the sending end, you are uploading. ठीक है. Drag का मतलब to move the mouse while its button is being depressed. Driver का मतलब file on a computer that tells it how to communicate with an add-on pieces of equipment like printer. DTP मतलब desktop publisher is a term that describes a program that enables users to create, design, and print items such as business cards, birthday cards, letterheads, calendar invitation, and so on. Editing. Editing is the process of changing information by inserting, deleting, replacing, rearranging, and reformations. ठीक है. ईमेल क्या होता है? इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मेल होता है जो कि एब्रिवेटेड ईमेल इज मेथड ऑफ कंपोजिंग, सेंडिंग, स्टोरिंग एंड रिसीविंग मैसेजेस ओवर द इलेक्ट्रॉनिक communication system. Encapsulation, it is a mechanism that associate the code and the data is it manipulates into a single unit and keeps them safe from external interface. Encryption क्या होता है? In cryptography, encryption is the process of encoding messages, ठीक है, in such a way that hackers cannot read it but the authorized users can access it. And user का मतलब क्या होता है? Any individual who uses the information information filtered by a computer-based system. ठीक है, entity, an entity is something that has a certain attributes or properties which may be assigned values. ठीक है, entity relationship diagram, it's a diagram that represents entities and how they are related to each other. ठीक है, इंटरनेट क्या होता है? प्रोटोकॉल फॉर फास्ट कम्युनिकेशन एंड फाइल ट्रांसफर अक्रॉस अ नेटवर्क. एग्जीक्यूशन टाइम क्या होता है? द टोटल टाइम रिक्वायर्ड टू एग्जीक्यूट program on a particular system. Expansion slot, a connector inside the computer that allows one to plug in a printed circuit board that provides new or enhanced features. Environment क्या होता है? Environment refers to the interaction among all the factors external to a physical platform. An environment is made up of a specific software, hardware, and network protocols that allow communication with the system. FAT क्या होता है? FAT is an acronym for file allocation table. It resembles a table of contents so that the files can be located on a computer on a computer. Fault क्या होता है? हार्डवेयर और सॉफ्टवेयर फेलियर. फैक्स क्या होता है? It stands for a facsimile machine. It is used to transmit a copy of a document. Electronic field क्या होता है? The attributes of an entity are written as a field in the table representation. File क्या होता है? The generic word of for an application's document control panel or other computer data. Floppy क्या होता है? कि a 3.5 inch square is a disk which holds data. Show limit for the earlier is 5.25 and 8 in this that were flexible. Folder क्या होता है? An electronic subdirectory that contains the files. Font क्या होता है? Typeface that contains the character of an alphabet or some other letter. Forms fragmentation, the breaking up of a file into many separate locations in memory or on a disk. Freeze क्या होता है? A system error which causes the cursor to lock in place. Front end, it is an interface through which a program can be accessed by common users. Gateway क्या होता है? Device that is used to join together two networks having different base protocols. Groupware, it is software that allow networked individual to form groups and collaborate on documents, programs, or database. Hardware क्या होता है? Hardware set of physical objects such as monitor, keyboard, house, and so on. Hard drive क्या होता है? Large capacity storage device made of multiple disks housed in a rigid case. Head crash, head disk crash, a hard disk crash caused by the heads coming in contact with the spinning disk. ठीक है, high density disk 1.4 MB. floppy disk hub क्या होता है? network device that connect multiple computers on a LAN so that they can communicate with each other with one another. Hyperlink, an image or a portion of a text on a web page that is linked to another web page. Highlight क्या होता है? To select by clicking on an icon or by highlighting text in a document. Iterate, the fraction of all memory reads which are satisfied from the cache. Hertz मतलब abbreviation for hertz, the number of cycles per second used to measure a clock speed. Icon क्या होता है? Small visual display of an application which can be activated by clicking on it. ID मतलब कि stands for Integrated Development Environment. IDE is a programming system that combines several tools of programming to provide an integrated platform for programming. For instance, Visual Basic provides an ID. Initialize मतलब to format a disk for use in the computer, creates a new directory and arrange the tracks for the recording of data. Insert points in word processing, the short flashing marker that indicates where your next typing will begin. Installer मतलब software used to install a program on your hard drive. Interrupt button मतलब tool used by the programmer to enter the debugging mode. The button is usually next to the reset button. Instance मतलब it is an object described by its class. Internet मतलब is a network that converts several computers to facilitate exchange and transfer of data. Joystick मतलब is a computer peripheral or general control device consisting of a handheld stick that pivots about one end and transmits its angle in 2 or 3 dimensions to a computer. Kernel मतलब कि it is a program called when a computer system is started. Kernel is responsible for setting up system calls in order to manage hardware and systems services and allocate resources and applications. Kilobyte मतलब क्या होता है 1024 bytes होता है. लाइट पेन क्या होता है लाइट सेंसिटिव स्टाइल फॉर फॉर्मेटिंग ग्राफिक्स बाय टचिंग coordinates on a display screen, thereby seeming to draw directly on the screen. ठीक है. Loop a sequence of instructions that is executed repeatedly until a terminal conditions occurs. LAN मतलब LAN is an acronym for local area network that spans small area. A LAN can be connected to another LAN to accommodate more computers. Landscape मतलब क्या होता है in printing from a computer to प्रिंट साइडवेज ऑन द पेज लॉन्च स्टार्ट एंड एप्लीकेशंस. ठीक है. मेमोरी क्या होता है इज एन इंटरनल स्टोरेज लोकेशन वे डाटा इंफॉर्मेशन इज स्टोर्ड ऑन कंप्यूटर. मॉडेम क्या होता है मॉडेम इज ए टर्म created from the beginning letters of two other words with modulations and demodulation. The term implies changing the data from digital to analog and back to the digital. Morphing मतलब transformation of one image into another. Multitasking मतलब multi-tasking scientists work with several programs or integrated tasks that share memories, codes, buffers, and files. Multi-threading मतलब it is a facility is available in an operating system that allows multiple functions from the same application packages. Multi-user मतलब the term describing the capability of a computer system to be operated at more than one terminal at the same IIFL 11 degree. A multiplexer मतलब it is a device that combines multiple input signals into an aggregate signal for transmission. Memory मतलब the temporary holding area where data is stored while it is being used or change the amount of RAM a computer has installed. Menu मतलब list of program commands listed by topic. Menu bar मतलब the horizontal bar across the top of the screen that lists the menus. Megahertz मतलब abbreviation of a megahertz or millions of cycles per second. Multitasking running more than one application in the memory at the same time. Nibble मतलब sequence of 4 bits on or a half bit hexadecimal or BCD coded digit can be represented by a nibble network. मतलब a network is a group of computers connected to each other in order to send and receive data. ठीक है. Operating system and an operating system provides a software platform required for various applications to run on. Its responsibilities to manage memory storage and security of data. Optical disk मतलब high capacity storage medium that is read by a laser light packet. Packet मतलब sections in which the message or data are divided to transfer it over a network. Pixel मतलब pixel is formed by combining the two words with a picture element. It represents one point within an image. ठीक है. Palette मतलब क्या होता है a small floating window that contains tools used in a given applications. Partition मतलब सब division of a hard drive surface that is defined and used as a separate drive. Paste मतलब to insert text or other materials from the clipboard or buffer. Copy buffer. PC मतलब acronym for personal computer commonly used to refer to an IBM or IBM clone computer that uses DOS. ठीक है. PCI मतलब acronym for peripheral components interchange a newer faster bus architecture. ठीक है. Peripheral मतलब an add-on component to your computer. Pop-up menu any menu that does not appear at the top of the screen in the menu bar. ठीक है. Many pop-up or down. Power PC मतलब processing chip designed by Apple, IBM and Motorola RIC based. ठीक है. Power Mac a family of Macs built around the Power PC chip. ठीक है. Print spooler a program that stores document to be printed on the hard drive, thereby freeing the memory up and allowing other functions to be performed while printing goes on in the background. ठीक है. Port Port is a connecting component, mainly a hardware that enables two computers to allow data sharing physically. Examples are USB and HDMI. ठीक है. Process क्या होता है? It's a series of commands that changes data values. ठीक है. Next क्या है? Protocol. Protocol refers to a set of rules that are followed by two devices while interacting with each other. Query is a request made by a computer from a database residing in the same system or a remotely located system. ठीक है. RAM is acronym for random access memory. It is a configuration of storage cells that hold data so that it can be processed by the central processing unit. RAM is a temporary storage location. Router क्या होता है? Network device that enables the network to read out messages it receives that and intended for other networks. This network with the router receives the message and sends it on its way exactly as received. In normal operations, they do not store any of the messages that they pass through. Routing मतलब the process of choosing the best path throughout the LAN root directory, the main hard drive window. ROM क्या होता है? Acronym for read only memory. It is semiconductor based storage system that saves information permanently. Software क्या होता है? Software is a program coding that the computer treats. ठीक है. The system then carries out functions as directed by the code. Adobe Photoshop is a software. ठीक है. Next क्या है? Save to write a file onto a disk. Save as to save a previously saved file in a new locations and with a new name. Scroll मतलब to shift the contents of a window to bring hidden items into view. Swapping मतलब storing programs on disk and then transferring these programs into main storage as and when they are needed. Synchronization मतलब कि this method ensures that the receiving end can recognize characters in order in which the transmitting end sends them in a serial data transmission. Scroll bar, a bar at the bottom or right side of a window that contains a scroll box and allows scrolling. ठीक है. Scroll box, the box in a scroll bar that is used to navigate through a window. ठीक है. SCSI मतलब acronym for a small computer system interface. Serial port, a port that allows data to be transmitted in a series, one after the other, such as the printer and the modem ports on a Mac. ठीक है. Server, a central computer dedicated to sending and receiving data from other computers. ठीक है. Shut down, the command from the special menu that shut down the computer safely. Spreadsheet, a program designed to look like an electronic ledger. Startup disk, the disk containing system software and is designed to be used to restart the computer. Source suppressor, a power strip that has circuits designed to reduce the effects of source in electrical power. Not the same as a UPS. TCPA and IP is an acronym for Transmission Control Protocol or Internet Protocol. It's a set of communication protocol used to connect host computer on the internet. Title bar, the horizontal bar at the top of a window that has the name of the file or folder it represents. URL stands for Universal Resource Locator. It's a way of accessing the internet. Upload मतलब to send a file from one computer to another through a network. Uninterruptible power source, UPS मतलब क्या? Constantly charging battery pack that powers the computer. UPS should have enough charge to power your computer for several minutes in the event of a total power failure, giving you time to save your work and safely shut down. UPS मतलब acronym for uninterruptible power sources. Virtual memory is the unused memory on the hard disks used when certain applications requires more RAM than is available on the machines. Versus viruses is a program that is loaded onto your computer without you knowing it, and it runs to hinder the normal functioning of the computer. www मतलब कि stands for World Wide Web. It's a term used to define the internet. WAN क्या होता है? WAN is an acronym for Wide Area Network. Such a network spans over an area larger than a LAN. WOM क्या होता है? Acronym for Write Once Rate Memory. An optical disk that can only be written to once, like a CD-ROM. Zoom box, a small square in the upper right corner of a window, which when clicked will expand the window to fill the फुल स्क्रीन। जिप क्या होता है? जिप इज एन एक्रोनिम फॉर जोन इंफॉर्मेशन प्रोटोकॉल। तो जिप एप्लीकेशन एनेबल ट्रांसफर ऑफ डाटा यूजिंग द कंप्रेशन ऑफ फाइल्स। नेक्स्ट एब्रिविएशन पढ़ेंगे हम लोग नेक्स्ट वीडियो में। टिल देन लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब एंड हैव अ गुड डे। थैंक यू।